Hello everyone, welcome to the ChatGPT for Finance course. So let's start with the first chapter, which is Understanding ChatGPT. So here we will cover what ChatGPT is, how does it work, how is ChatGPT different from other AI tools, why using the right prompt matters, and why one should start using ChatGPT. So what is ChatGPT? Imagine you have a smart assistant who can answer your finance-related questions, help with research, analyze market trends, and even assist in making investment decisions. This assistant doesn't get tired, works 24/7, and can provide clear explanations on even the most complex topics. That's what ChatGPT is. It's a powerful artificial intelligence model designed to understand and generate human-like text responses based on the input it receives. But how does it do this? So ChatGPT is built on Generative Pre-trained Transformer or GPT technology, which is a type of deep learning model that processes and understands text. It has been trained on a vast amount of text data, including books, articles, financial reports, and online discussions, enabling it to provide meaningful responses. Now let's see how does ChatGPT work. So to put it simply, ChatGPT learns from patterns found in large datasets of text. So instead of memorizing answers, it predicts the most relevant response based on the words and context you provide. So here is a step-by-step breakdown of how ChatGPT functions. Training on massive data. So ChatGPT has been trained on billions of words from books, research papers, financial articles, and more. This helps it recognize patterns, understand grammar, and generate responses that feel natural. Understanding context and meaning. So unlike older chatbots that only recognize keywords, ChatGPT understands the intent behind your question. So it analyzes how words relate to each other and determines the most relevant response. Next is generating a response. So when you type a question, ChatGPT processes it and generates a response based on its knowledge. So the more specific your question, the more accurate and relevant its answer will be. So for example, if you ask, what is compound interest? ChatGPT will provide a general definition. How does compound interest affect long-term investments? ChatGPT will provide a detailed investment-focused answer. So this means that the quality of the response depends on how well you frame your question. Now let's see why is ChatGPT different from other AI tools. So many AI models can answer questions, but ChatGPT stands out because of its context awareness. So it understands and remembers previous parts of a conversation, making responses more meaningful. Natural language understanding. It doesn't just match keywords, but understands what you are asking. Versatility. It can assist in various domains, from finance and investing to market research and risk analysis. And then comes adaptive learning. So it improves over time and can handle a wide range of topics, from beginner-level questions to complex financial strategies. So for instance, if you're a beginner in finance, ChatGPT can explain terms in simple language. If you're a professional, it can provide detailed analysis, trends, and even help in decision-making. Now, why asking the right question matters? So since ChatGPT generates responses based on how you phrase your questions, the way you ask definitely matters. For example, here is a bad prompt, which is, tell me about investments, because it is too broad. Now let's see a good, well-defined prompt, like, what are the safest investment options for beginners in 2020? So this prompt seems to be more specific. So the clearer and more detailed your question is, the better response you will get. So now let's see why should you start using ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is more than just a fun tool for answering random questions. It's a powerful AI assistant that can boost productivity, efficiency, and decision making, especially in finance. So let's explore why you should start using it today. Number one, save time by automating repetitive tasks. So ChatGPT can handle data entry, report generation, and document summarization, freeing up time for strategic tasks. For example, instead of reading a 50-page financial report, ask ChatGPT for a summary in seconds. Number two, improve productivity with instant answers. So no need to browse multiple sources. ChatGPT provides direct, accurate answers to financial queries, helping you make faster decisions. For example, you can ask, how does compound interest impact investments, and get a detailed explanation instantly. You can gain deeper insights from financial data. So ChatGPT can analyze trends, identify risks, and uncover investment opportunities faster than traditional research methods. For example, you can ask summarize stock market trends for 2024 and you can get key insights within seconds. Number 4 is enhance customer experience with AI-powered chatbots. So businesses can use chatbot for automated customer support and personalized financial advice, improving satisfaction while reducing costs. For example, banks can integrate ChatGPT to answer common queries like what's the current home loan interest rate. And number 5 is to gain a competitive edge. So professionals using AI can work smarter, make better decisions, and stand out in their careers or businesses. For example, a financial analyst using ChatGPT can generate reports faster and provide better investment insights than competitors relying on manual research. So now, why ChatGPT is more efficient than traditional methods? So unlike Google, which shows multiple links, ChatGPT provides direct conversational answers and allows follow-up questions without restarting your search. So for example, in Google, if you search, how do interest rates affect stocks? You have to read multiple articles. But in ChatGPT, you just have to ask the same question and you'll get a clear, direct answer instantly. So now let's see the ongoing conversations for smarter research. So ChatGPT remembers past questions, allowing you to continue discussions, refine queries, and deepen your understanding. So for example, you can ask explain stock diversification today and later follow up with how does it apply to retirement planning. So ChatGPT will remember the context. So that was it. I hope you got a clear overview of ChatGPT. Now in the next chapter, we will discuss how we can use ChatGPT in the field of finance. Hi all, welcome to the next chapter where we will dive into ChatGPT for finance and its applications. So finance professionals manage vast amounts of data, reports, compliance requirements, forecasting models, and financial planning. So the nature of finance demands efficiency, accuracy, and real-time decision making, all of which can be significantly enhanced using AI-driven tools like ChatGPT. So by integrating ChatGPT into finance workflows, professionals can automate tasks, reduce research time, improve financial analysis, and optimize operations. So now, ChatGPT's applications in finance can be categorized into 4 broad areas. Number 1 is analysis and forecasting. Number 2 is learning and research. Number 3 is writing and communication. And number 4 is automation and task optimization. So each of these areas benefits from AI-powered automation, leading to faster decision-making, increased productivity, and greater accuracy. So let's start with ChatGPT for analysis and forecasting. So accurate analysis and forecasting are essential for informed decision-making across industries. ChatGPT enhances this process by automating data analysis, identifying trends, and simplifying complex forecasting techniques. So first is data analysis and trend identification. It analyzes large data sets to highlight key trends. So businesses generate vast amounts of data daily, and manually analyzing this data can be time-consuming and inefficient. So AI-powered tools like ChatGPT help process and analyze large data sets, identifying key trends and patterns that might otherwise go unnoticed. So by leveraging machine learning algorithms, businesses can gain deeper insights into customer behavior, market fluctuations, and operational performance, enabling data-driven decision-making. Next, it generates insights for finance, marketing, and operations. AI-driven data analysis is a game changer across various business domains. In finance, it helps detect anomalies, forecast trends, and optimize investments. In marketing, it enables companies to understand consumer behavior, personalize campaigns, and measure performance effectively. And for operations, AI improves efficiency by analyzing supply chain logistics, workforce productivity, and demand forecasting. So these insights empower businesses to make strategic decisions and drive growth and efficiency. Next, it reduces manual effort in research and reporting. So traditional research and reporting involves significant manual effort, requiring analysis to sift through large volumes of data to extract meaningful information. So AI-powered automation reduces this burden by quickly summarizing reports, identifying relevant data points, and generating comprehensive insights with minimum human intervention. So this allows professionals to focus on high-value tasks such as strategy development, innovation, and customer engagement while ensuring accuracy and speed in reporting. Next, let's move on to financial forecasting and market predictions. How ChatGPT helps in financial forecasting and market predictions. So number one is it summarizes financial trends and market conditions. So financial markets are constantly evolving, influenced by global events, economic policies, and investor sentiment. AI-powered tools can effectively analyze vast amounts of financial data to identify patterns, summarize market trends, and provide real-time insights. So this enables businesses and investors to stay updated on stock movements, interest rate changes, and economic indicators, helping them respond proactively to market fluctuations. Next is it complements traditional forecasting models with scenario-based insights. So traditional financial forecasting models rely on historical data and statistical methods to predict future trends. Now, AI enhances these models by incorporating scenario-based analysis, simulating different market conditions, and providing insights under various economic scenarios. So this helps organizations prepare for uncertainties, assess risks, and make more resilient financial plans by considering multiple potential outcomes. Next is it helps investment professionals make informed decisions. So investment professionals rely on accurate data and predictive insights to make strategic decisions. Now, AI-driven financial forecasting tools provide deeper market analysis, risk assessment, and predictive modeling, so allowing investors to evaluate potential opportunities with greater confidence. By leveraging real-time insights and trend predictions, professionals can analyze portfolio management, mitigate risks, and capitalize on emerging investment opportunities. Now, next, let's see how ChatGPT helps in business intelligence and risk assessment. Number one, it extracts insights from reports for better decision making. So ChatGPT can analyze extensive business reports, summarize key findings, and highlight crucial trends, saving professionals significant time. By leveraging natural language processing, it can extract insights from financial statements, customer feedback, and operational data, helping leaders make informed decisions. So with ChatGPT, businesses can quickly interpret complex data, identify opportunities, and categorize effectively without manually sifting through lengthy reports. Next, it identifies potential risks and suggests mitigation strategies. So ChatGPT aids in risk assessment, analyzing historical data, identifying potential red flags, and providing risk mitigation strategies. It can process financial documents, compliance regulations, and market trends to detect vulnerabilities in business operations. So by offering scenario-based recommendations, ChatGPT enables organizations to proactively address challenges, improve risk management frameworks, and enhance operational resilience. Next is it streamlines revenue projections and risk assessment. So ChatGPT supports revenue forecasting by analyzing past performance, industry trends, and external economic factors. It can generate predictive insights, helping businesses estimate future revenue more accurately. Additionally, ChatGPT can assess financial risks by identifying patterns in expenses, cash flow fluctuations, and market conditions. So this enables companies to refine their financial strategies, minimize risks, and ensure stable business growth. So now let's see how ChatGPT helps in learning and research. So finance professionals must stay updated on evolving regulations, market trends, and economic indicators. Unlike traditional search engines that provide scattered results, ChatGPT consolidates key insights into a structured, easy-to-understand format. Now, regulatory compliance is a critical aspect of finance, with frequent updates in investment laws, tax structures, and corporate accounting. So ChatGPT simplifies this by summarizing amendments, explaining frameworks, and reducing manual research efforts. Now, investment professionals, fund managers, and traders rely on market data to make informed decisions. So ChatGPT automates research by gathering insights from multiple sources, identifying trends, and structuring complex data into actionable information. Additionally, financial experts track economic indicators like GDP growth, inflation, and employment figures to guide business and investment strategies. ChatGPT quickly analyzes reports, extracting relevant insights to reduce dependency on time-consuming research methods. Also, for professionals dealing with financial instruments, valuation models, and risk management strategies, ChatGPT breaks down complex topics into simplified explanations, making financial concepts easier to grasp and apply. And by streamlining learning, enhancing research efficiency, and improving accessibility to critical finance information, ChatGPT serves as an essential knowledge assistant for finance professionals. So now let's move on to see how ChatGPT helps in writing and communication. So financial professionals handle writing-intensive tasks such as reports, emails, investment proposals, and client communications. So clear and professional financial writing is essential for credibility and accuracy. Creating detailed financial reports can be time-consuming. Analysts and investment managers manually compile earnings reports, investor briefings, and industry research. ChatGPT streamlines this by generating structured summaries, organizing key points, and formatting reports efficiently. Also, client communication is another critical area where ChatGPT adds value. Financial advisors and wealth managers frequently engage with clients through emails, presentations, and financial briefings. So AI assists in drafting personalized investment summaries, simplifying financial concepts, and responding to client inquiries professionally. Now, organizations can also use ChatGPT for internal documents, press releases, and compliance reports, ensuring consistent financial messaging. So by automating routine writing tasks, professionals can focus more on strategic decision making and client relationships. So while AI-generated content improves efficiency, human oversight is essential to ensure accuracy, particularly in financial communications where precision is critical. So ChatGPT serves as a drafting assistant with professionals reviewing and validating content for final use. Now finally, let's see how ChatGPT helps in finance automation and task optimization. So many financial tasks such as expense categorization, invoice processing, and financial reconciliation involve repetitive manual work. Now ChatGPT, when integrated with automation tools, streamlines these operations, reduces human errors, and improves efficiency. So finance departments can partially automate processes like accounts payable, budget tracking, and cash flow management. ChatGPT helps process structured and unstructured financial data, detect discrepancies, and generate reconciliations. Now in accounting, AI-powered assistants optimize invoice management, payroll processing, and tax filing, minimizing manual intervention. Now for investment professionals, ChatGPT aids in portfolio monitoring, market trend tracking, and investment performance summaries. AI-driven tools provide real-time updates on stock fluctuations, commodity prices, and currency exchange rates, enhancing decision-making. Also, organizations requiring frequent financial reporting and auditing benefit from AI automation, generating structured reports from transaction data, and eliminating time-consuming manual process. So by integrating ChatGPT with automation tools, CRM systems, and ERP software, businesses enhance workflow efficiency, cut costs, and free finance teams to focus on higher value analytical tasks. So that was it. I hope you got a clarity on how ChatGPT can help in finance or finance professionals. Now in the next chapter, we will see how to give prompts and use ChatGPT for analysis and forecasting. So hi all, welcome to the next chapter where we will discuss and show you prompts to utilize ChatGPT for analysis and forecasting. So we will start with extracting and formatting financial data from Excel, how to format and convert data into different file formats. Then we will move on to how ChatGPT works with Excel formulas and functions. ChatGPT for data analysis, for financial forecasting, for financial modeling, market research analysis, investment and stock analysis. So managing and transforming financial data is a crucial task for professionals working with spreadsheets, reports, and presentations. And ChatGPT can simplify this process by helping you extract clean, structure, and convert data into different formats efficiently. So the first step in working with financial data is extracting it from Excel spreadsheet. You may need to restructure the data, apply calculations, and format it for reporting. So the first method is you can copy and paste the data into ChatGPT. So you can open your Excel file. So you can open your Excel file, copy the financial data you want to format, and paste it over here. Now you can give a clear instruction such as format this data into a well-structured table. With columns labeled properly. So as you can see, ChatGPT will generate a cleaned up version of the table which you can copy and paste it into back to your Excel or another document. So sometimes you won't get a table. So if the output appears as a code block, you can add the instruction like show this as a markdown table without using a code block. and then you will get it in the table format. Now you can actually, transform this data or download this data in various formats. So first thing, if you want to export this data into CSV format, for example, you can just give a prompt like convert this data to CSV format, where each value is separated by comma. So now, as you can see, ChatGPT will generate the data in a CSV compatible format. So you can copy the output, paste it into a text file and save it as a .csv file. Also, you can import the CSV file into Excel, Google Sheets, or any other database. Also, you can download it back as an Excel file. For example, please provide this data as a downloadable Excel file. So as you can see, ChatGPT will structure the data and provide a file download link. So you just have to, click it and the file will get downloaded into your file manager. So similarly, you can actually download it in any format. Like right now, I gave the prompt, please provide this data as a downloadable Excel file. You can also download it as a PDF or as a PowerPoint presentation, where you can actually ask ChatGPT on how to make a presentation, ideas on how to make a presentation. Also, you can, download it in Microsoft Word format. Also, there is an option like, as I did before, I actually copy pasted the data from the Excel file, but there's also an option where you can actually, upload it from the computer directly. Now, this is available only in ChatGPT 4.0 version. So in ChatGPT 4.0 version, you can, access the file. So directly upload it to your ChatGPT. So now that we learned how to, upload Excel file and also format the data and download it in other formats, ChatGPT is not just useful for reading Excel data. It can also assist in creating, analyzing, troubleshooting, and explaining Excel formulas and functions. So first, let's see how it can generate Excel formulas. So users can describe the calculation they need first, and ChatGPT will suggest the correct formula. And it provides a breakdown of the formula, and you can modify the formula based on their dataset. So for example, I will give a prompt. I have sales data for multiple brokers in Excel. Column A is broker name. Sales. How can I calculate the total sales for all brokers? So as you can see, first it told you that you have to use the sum function in the Excel, and it also gave the formula. For example, is equal to sum of B2 to B100. Now this is just a range. You can adjust the range based on your data set. So this feature eliminates guesswork when working with financial calculations, pivot tables, or large data sets. So you can actually, now this, I'll give an example of a very easy formula. So there will be very advanced formulas where you might not remember the formula. So in such a situation, you can actually, take the help of ChatGPT. You can just explain what you need, like what calculation you want to do, and ChatGPT will provide you with the formula. Now, ChatGPT does not only suggest you formulas, it can also help in explaining the functions or understanding the functions. So as you know, Excel has hundreds of built-in functions, but not all users are familiar with how they work. So ChatGPT can explain any function in a structured and easy to understand way. So for example, you can ask ChatGPT to explain a function. Explain the VLOOKUP function. So as you can see, first it gave a definition of what a VLOOKUP function is. And then it gave you a syntax. So VLOOKUP is equal to lookup value, comma table array, comma column index number, comma range lookup. And it also gave an explanation of the arguments. So the values inside the bracket are the arguments. So it gave a detailed explanation of the argument, which means it actually gave a syntax breakdown explaining each argument. And also it actually gave you an example use case with a scenario where you can use the function. Now, for example, if the function explanation does not include an example, users can ask for one in a follow-up question. And ChatGPT will provide a realistic business scenario demonstrating how the function works. So this is particularly useful for learning advanced functions and understanding how they apply to financial modeling, data validation, and reporting. Now, ChatGPT can also help you in explaining complex Excel formulas step by step. So in financial models and business spreadsheets, formulas can be long and complex, so making it difficult to understand their logic. Now, ChatGPT can break down complicated formulas into simpler steps, helping users audit and optimize the Excel sheets. So, for example, let's ask ChatGPT to explain a formula. Explain this formula step by step. So as you can see, first it identified the key functions used in the formula, and then it gave a step-by-step breakdown of each function's role in the calculation. For example, A2 is greater than 50, so it actually explains, checks if the value in A2 is greater than 50. So it explains in each and every function inside the formula. And also, as you can see, it has provided a very simplified explanation of how the formula works. And also, like seen in the earlier case, they have given the scenario examples. Also, if they haven't given you an example, you can always ask ChatGPT for an example using business data. So this feature is especially useful when working with nested formulas, like long nested formulas that combine multiple Excel functions such as index, match, if, sumif, and array formula. Now, ChatGPT can also help us in detecting and fixing errors in an Excel formula. So formula errors are common in Excel, and troubleshooting them manually can be very time consuming. So ChatGPT helps by analyzing formula errors and suggesting corrections. So let's see how it works. You just ask what is wrong with this formula, and let's give the formula. So as you can see, ChatGPT first identified the error. Like it can be any error. It can be an incorrect syntax, a missing argument, or reference issue. As you can see here, it has mentioned, ChatGPT has mentioned that's a syntax error where I have missed a comma in between the ranges, in between these two ranges. And after explaining what the error was, it also gave me a corrected formula and explained that too. And also it will give an explanation of why the original formula didn't work and how to fix to improve it. So some of the common Excel errors that ChatGPT can diagnose include incorrect data types, missing lookup values, invalid cell reference, division by zero, and misspelled function names. So by using ChatGPT for troubleshooting, users can quickly fix formula errors without spending hours debugging manually. So now that we have seen how ChatGPT helps us creating, analyzing, troubleshooting, and explaining Excel formulas and functions, now let's move to ChatGPT for data analysis. So data analysis is crucial in finance for tracking trends, making predictions, and ensuring informed decision making. So traditionally, analyzing financial data required complex Excel formulas and programming skills, but with ChatGPT 4.0, users can now analyze, visualize, and interact with data in real time without extensive technical knowledge. So to demonstrate how ChatGPT assists in financial data analysis, we will use an example of dataset containing monthly revenue and expenses of a company. So right now, instead of manually entering data into ChatGPT, we will upload the file. Now we'll give the prompt, analyze this financial data set and provide an overview. overview of the revenue, expenses, and profit trends over the last 3 years. So as you can see, ChatGPT processed the file and generated a summary of trends, making financial interpretation quick and effortless. So it has provided the So as you can see, ChatGPT will process the file and generate a summary of trends, making financial interpretation quick and effortless. So as you can see, they have given the year, the revenue, expenses, and net profit. Now it also helps in cleaning and formatting the financial data. So for an accurate analysis, our data set must be cleaned and formatted properly. So ChatGPT will help us in identifying and removing duplicate entries, for standardizing date formats, handling missing values, and also ensuring that all numbers are in the correct financial format. So for example, we'll just give this prompt, check this financial data set for duplicate values, missing entries, and formatting issues. You can also tell it to clean and standardize it for analysis. So as you can see, it has cleaned and provided a refined data set, ensuring accuracy before performing any further analysis. Also, it has given a detailed report that it has checked the financial data set for issues, and it has found that there is no duplicate entries, there are no missing values, and there were no issues found. But if there were any issues, ChatGPT would have pointed it out and explained about the issue, and also it would have suggested ways on how to improve it. Now let's see how ChatGPT helps in visualizing financial data. So as you know, data visualization helps identify trends and make comparisons. So with ChatGPT's 4.0 built-in graphic tools, users can create financial charts instantly. So let's give a prompt. Create a bar chart showing revenue trends over the last 3 years. So as you can see, it has provided an output, which is a bar graph displaying revenue growth over time, helping visualize patterns and fluctuations. So just imagine how much time it would have taken if you were to make this bar chart manually, but this just came in few seconds. How simple was that? Now you can also, customize this chart. So let's just expand this. So you can actually switch it to an interactive chart like this. So as you can see, it became interactive. Now you can also change the color of the bars. So here's where you can change the color. So if you want, you can change the color of the graph too. And also, as you see, there is a download button, so you can download charts for financial presentations. How simple was that? Now, ChatGPT also helps in identifying trends and patterns in financial data. So understanding financial trends is key to forecasting and budgeting. So ChatGPT can identify revenue growth trends. For example, is it increasing, stable, or declining? It can also highlight seasonal spending patterns and symbol higher expenses in certain months, and also it can detect unexpected spikes or drops in profit. So for example, let's give this prompt. Analyze the revenue and expenses trend. Identify any seasonal or unexpected financial shifts. So as you can see, it has actually provided us in the line graph format and also the data, but I needed explanation. So I can ask Can you please explain it further? So as you can see, it has actually examined and analyzed the revenue and expenses trend, and it has, given us a summary of the revenue growth, the expenses trend, and profitability. Also, it has given us an repeat. Also, it has told us about the seasonal trends, the unexpected financial shifts also, and finally, it has also provided some key insights and the next steps to be taken. Now, you can also customize these graphs and financial insights. Like for example, they have provided a line graph. So I can just say modify this line chart into a bar chart for better visualization of revenue trends. So whichever type of chart you feel is suitable, you can actually, tell ChatGPT to change line chart to bar chart or bar chart to pie chart, etc. Now, ChatGPT also helps in detecting relationships between financial metrics. So financial analysis is not just about individual figures, but also about understanding relationships between variables. So ChatGPT can analyze correlations, identify efficiency ratios, and also highlight anomalies. So for example, we'll just give a prompt. There is a relationship between revenue growth and expenses. There's an increase in expenses lead to higher revenue. So as you can see, ChatGPT is providing a detailed analysis, that too with supporting charts, as you can see, enabling businesses to make data-driven financial decisions. So as you can see, it has told the relationship between expenses and revenue. The correlation is 0.97. It has actually explained it with a graph. And also it has given a written explanation. For example, this is the correlation, which indicates a strong positive relationship between expenses and revenue. And it has also given an interpretation, which means like we had asked, right, that does an increase in expenses lead to higher revenue? So it has told that an increase in expenses strongly linked to higher revenue. And also it has given some recommendations. For example, to optimize spending, like if expenses are increasing at a higher rate than revenue, then efficiency should be reviewed. Also, ROI analysis and monitor margins. Now let's see how ChatGPT helps in financial statement analysis and forecasting. So financial statement analysis is essential for assessing a company's financial health, detecting risks, and making informed investment decisions. So traditionally, financial analysts relied on balance sheets, income statements, and cash flow reports to evaluate a business. But with ChatGPT 4.0, this process is now faster, more accessible, and automated, enabling users to extract insights without deep financial expertise. So to demonstrate this, we'll use Meta's balance sheet as an example and analyze key financial indicators, risks, and potential investment decisions. So first, let me just upload the data. So I've copied the data, so I'll just paste it here. First, I'll tell to give it in a table format. So as you can see, it is tabulating the data. Everything is fine. Now let's start giving prompts. So our first prompt is analyze this financial statement and summarize key trends in total assets, liabilities, equity, and debt over the last 4 years. So as you can see, it is giving us a financial statement analysis, where first it has given total assets trend. These are the company's total assets have shown consistent growth from 2019 to 2022. It also talked about the total liabilities trend, the total equity trend, the debt trend, working capital, and also it has talked about the financial risks or the potential concerns. As you can see, this actually saved hours of manual work, right? It just summarized a financial statement in maybe 2 to 3 seconds. Now let's do a risk assessment. Let's just ask, what does the decline in working capital and increase in debt mean for Meta's financial stability? As you can see, it has actually talked about liquidity concerns, the risks, the liquidity concerns, the higher debt burden and interest costs, the decline in equity and financial leverage, potential credit rating and investor confidence issues. And it has also given a final verdict of, is Meta in financial trouble, which is pretty cool. Now, as you can see, this was just a, explanation. Now, ChatGPT can also quantify this risk using a scoring system based on impact and likelihood. So, for example, let's just give this prompt. Assess Meta's financial risks based on this balance sheet. Use a 5-point scale for impact and likelihood. They haven't given a risk score, so we can tell them to please provide the risk score. So as you can see, ChatGPT has generated a risk assessment table, and you can see the key insight as, the highest risk for Meta is the debt burden. Yes, it is for the debt burden, which could impact financial flexibility. It has also given an overall financial risk score. You can also ask, based on this risk analysis, should I be concerned about Meta's financial stability, and such follow-up questions. So ChatGPT will explain the implications, helping users assess financial health. Now you can also, forecast future financial performance with the help of ChatGPT. So by analyzing past trends, ChatGPT can assist in forecasting future financial performance based on historical data. So let's just ask, predict Meta's total assets, liabilities, and debt levels 2025, 2026 based on historical trends. So as you can see, ChatGPT has estimated the financial growth. It has used the trend-based forecasting techniques. Also, you can ask more follow-up questions like, if liabilities continue to rise at this rate, will Meta face financial distress, and so on. And ChatGPT will provide insights on solvency risks, guiding users on financial outlooks. Now let's move on to financial modeling with ChatGPT, which is automating complex calculations. So financial modeling is a critical process used for investment analysis, business forecasting, and strategic decision making. And traditionally, building financial models required Excel formulas, VBA macros, or Python scripts, all of which demanded technical expertise. However, ChatGPT 4.0 has transformed financial modeling by automating data extraction, VBA, macro generation, and financial computations with ease. So financial modeling is a critical process for investment analysis, business forecasting, and strategic decision making. So traditionally, building financial models requires Excel formulas, VBA macros, or Python scripts, all of which demanded technical expertise. However, ChatGPT 4.0 has transformed financial modeling by automating data extraction, VBA macro generation, and financial computations with ease. So the first step is to extract data from the file. So let's upload the file. Let's give upload this data set and analyze revenue and profit trends over the last 4 years. So as you can see, ChatGPT will process the file, extract key financial insights, and highlight the growth trends. As you can see, it has highlighted the growth trends. You can also automate calculations. ChatGPT can convert financial data into fully functional financial model. So for example, let's just give a prompt, create an Excel financial model that calculates net profit margin, return on investment, and annual growth rate based on this data set. So as you can see, it has created the financial model. There is net profit margin, ROI, annual growth rate, everything. But you can also ask for formulas. Please write the formulas that you have used for calculations. So by asking ChatGPT that what formula it has used to come to this conclusion, you can actually, just cross-check and verify if the formulas they have used were correct or not. As you can see, it has given that here are the formulas used for the financial model calculations. It has given formula for net profit margin, for ROI, for annual growth rate, etc. Now you can also use ChatGPT for writing VBA macros for advanced financial modeling. So you can just give a prompt like write a VBA macro that creates a new worksheet and auto-populates revenue growth calculations from the dataset. So as you can see, ChatGPT is actually, giving us a VBA macro code. So once executed, this VBA macro automatically creates a financial model, saving time and effort. Now you can also use ChatGPT for report generation. For example, you can ask it to create a financial report summarizing the revenue growth, ROI, and profit margins from 2020 to 2023. So as you can see, it actually prepared a report with revenue growth analysis, return on investment, and net profit margin analysis. Now, if you want to add more, like if you want to add risk analysis and investment insights, also if you want to include charts and graphs for data visualization, you can give the required prompts to ChatGPT. So now let's move on to how ChatGPT will help us in market research and analysis. So market research plays a crucial role in financial planning, investment decisions, and business strategy. Companies do not operate in isolation. They are influenced by competitors, economic trends, consumer behavior, and industry developments. So ChatGPT 4.0 can assist finance professionals in gathering and analyzing competitive intelligence, tracking market sentiment, and predicting future trends. So to make this explanation more structured and practical, let's focus on one example throughout this. So we'll be working on analyzing Tesla's market position and future growth potential in the EV industry. So first step is extracting competitive information. So let's just give a prompt where Tesla, Rivian, and Lucid, based on revenue, market share, and financial performance over the past 3 years. So as you can see, it gave us a comparison among the 3 companies with respect to revenue and financial performance and market share in the EV segment. Now you can also give a follow-up prompt such as, based on their financials, and production capabilities, which company is best positioned for growth in the next 5 years? So as you can see, they have given details of all the companies. So I'll just make my prompt clear. I just want the details of the company that will be best positioned. So as you can see here, ChatGPT will evaluate the financial stability, the production capacity, and technological advancements to identify the strongest long-term investment. So it has finally told that the best position for growth is Tesla. It has also given a growth outlook that Tesla will remain the best positioned EV company for the next 5 years. Now let's see how to do sentiment analysis and market trends. So investor sentiment plays a critical role in Tesla's stock price fluctuations, and ChatGPT can track news reports, social media discussions, and analyst reviews to identify key themes and concerns. So for example, let's give a prompt such as, analyze the current market sentiment for Tesla based on recent news, social media discussions, and analyst ratings. So as you can see, ChatGPT has provided us with sentiment analysis, and it has also given us the sources. So these are the sources from which it has got this information. So if you want to double check, you can just, open the source and just check once if the information provided by ChatGPT aligns with the current data. It has also provided the key drivers for investment, confidence or concern, and potential risks and opportunities. So as you can see, it has concluded that the current market sentiment for Tesla is mixed. Also, you can ask ChatGPT that how has this sentiment affected Tesla's stock performance. For example, let's ask summarize how investor sentiment has affected Tesla's stock performance in the last 6 months. So as you can see, it has actually given an overview of how Tesla's stock performance has influenced by investor sentiment, and it has given the various factors, like the key influences being technological developments, political and trade factors, market performance and competition, and analyst perspectives. Now, ChatGPT can also help in identifying regional and global market trends. So as you know, Tesla operates in multiple markets, each with unique challenges and opportunities. So ChatGPT can analyze regional trends impacting Tesla's growth in North America, Europe, and China. So let's just ask, compare Tesla's market growth trends in the US, China, and Europe, and analyze the key opportunities in each region. So as you can see, it has given a comparison among the different regions. It has told us about the growth trends, the opportunities, and the risks in each of the regions separately. Now you can also ask follow-up questions like which region presents the highest growth opportunity for Tesla in the next 5 years. So it has concluded that it would be China, and it also explains why it's China. So it's because of the expanding EV market, the revenue and sales growth, the government policies, market share potentials, etc. Now, as seen earlier, you can also make a market report with ChatGPT. You can ask ChatGPT to generate a market research report summarizing Tesla's industry position, key competitors, investment risks, and future growth potential. Now, ChatGPT can also predict future market trends with AI. So we'll just see predict Tesla's market position in 2028 based on expected EV demand, self-driving advancements, and global regulations. So as you can see, it actually gave the current data because this is the paid version, ChatGPT 4.0. So as you can see, this has given the current data, and also it has concluded that by 2028, Tesla aims to solidify its leadership in the EV market through the introduction of affordable models and advancements in autonomous driving. Also, you can give follow-up prompts like based on this forecast, what investment strategies should be considered for Tesla stock. So now finally, let's move to ChatGPT for stock and investment analysis. So investing in stocks requires thorough research, valuation techniques, and financial forecasting. So whether you are a retail investor, a financial analyst, or a portfolio manager, ChatGPT 4.0 can enhance your stock analysis by extracting financial metrics from reports, performing valuation analysis, assessing risks and market trends, and generating stock forecasts. So in this chapter, we'll analyze Apple using ChatGPT's quantitative and financial analysis capabilities. So you can give a prompt like this: extract key financial metrics for Apple from the latest earnings report and Yahoo Finance statistics. Sorry, I just did a spelling mistake. Let me just stop this. Yeah, it's Yahoo. Yeah. So as you can see, ChatGPT has given us the total revenue, the net incomes, earnings per share, the market capitalization, the price to earnings, which is P to E ratio, the total debt, operating cash flow, and return on equity. And as you can see, here also they have provided the sources for cross verification. Now let's just give a follow-up prompt. Compare these metrics with Microsoft and Google to understand Apple's relative valuation. So as you can see, it has given a competitor data analysis and highlight valuation differences to assess if Apple is overvalued or undervalued. So we can just ask, based on this, is Apple overvalued or undervalued? So as you can see, they have actually given a detailed approach. It has explained everything in detail. And also finally, it has concluded, the final verdict is that Apple is slightly overvalued. Now you can also do a risk assessment here. So every investment carries risks, right? Now ChatGPT can analyze risks based on macroeconomic factors, industry trends, and company-specific issues. So you can just ask, analyze the biggest risks. Hello, for Apple stock performance, risks for, Apple's stock performance in the next 5 years. So as you can see, it has analyzed the biggest risks for Apple's stock performance, which is slowing revenue growth, dependence on China for manufacturing and sales, weak AI and cloud strategy compared to Microsoft and Google, because we already did a comparison over there, increased regulatory scrutiny and antivirus risks, declining margins due to rising costs, etc. Now you can also ask a follow-up question after that, like how can Apple mitigate these risks and such questions. Now, ChatGPT can also forecast Apple's future stock prices. So we can just say to predict Apple's stock price in 2028 based on projected revenue, EPS, and market conditions. So as you can see, ChatGPT has predicted the following for Apple stock price prediction in 2028. First, it has given us a revenue growth estimate, a revenue growth projection, an EPS growth projection. It has given a P to E ratio scenarios, the expected P to E ratio, and also projected the stock price. As you can see, it has also given us the stock price. Now again, you can ask follow-up questions like how do interest rates and inflation impact Apple's stock price projections, etc. So yes, these were some of the ways to use ChatGPT for analysis and forecasting. Now in the next chapter, we will deal with how to use ChatGPT for learning and research. Hi all, welcome to the next chapter, ChatGPT for learning and research. So continuous learning is essential for financial professionals to stay updated on new trends, technologies, and industry developments. And ChatGPT serves as a personalized learning assistant, helping users understand complex topics, summarize information, and learn new skills like Python programming and data analysis. So in this chapter, we will explore how ChatGPT can enhance financial learning through explaining emerging investment trends, summarizing financial news and reports, learning technical skills like Python for finance, and exploring some new financial software and tools. So let's get started. So first, let's understand emerging investment trends. So financial markets are evolving rapidly with innovations like blockchain, cryptocurrency, decentralized finance, and NFTs. And ChatGPT can help quickly understand these concepts and their impact on investments. For example, I'll just give a prompt like explain blockchain technology. As you can see, you will also get these drop-down suggestions, and its impact on the financial industry. So as you can see, ChatGPT actually, provided a pretty decent material for learning about and understanding about what blockchain technologies and its impact on financial industry. So first itself, it started with the definition of what is blockchain technology. Like blockchain is a decentralized distributed technology that records transactions in a secure and immutable manner. Now after that, it actually, listed out the key features of blockchain. Like what are the key features of blockchain? Such as decentralization, transparency, security, immutability, efficiency. So once it provided the definition and the key features of blockchain, it moved on to the impact of blockchain on the financial industry, like faster and cost-effective payments, enhanced security and fraud prevention, smart contracts, decentralized finance, improved transparency, and so on. And along with that, it also talked about the challenges of blockchain in the finance, like there can be scalability issues. Like for public blockchains like Bitcoin have slower transaction speeds, and it can have regulatory uncertainty, energy consumption, and adoption barrier. Now, finally, it concluded by talking about the future of blockchain in finance. Like it gave us a major, news like JP Morgan and Chase and Goldman Sachs are exploring blockchain solutions, and so on. So as you can see, it actually gave us a pretty decent knowledge by categorizing it into sections. Now we can also ask a follow-up question like how are financial institutions using blockchain today? Blockchain today. So as you can see, ChatGPT provided real-world examples of how banks, investment firms, and fintech companies integrated blockchain into their services. So for example, cross-border payments and settlements is used for cross-border payments and settlements, for trade, finance, and supply chain, smart contracts, and also gave examples of the companies, and it also provided the examples of companies that is using this technology. Now you can also summarize financial news and reports. So as you know, reading lengthy financial articles, earnings reports, and economic forecasts can be time consuming. So ChatGPT can summarize key insights in seconds, allowing professionals to stay updated efficiently. So let's ask a question, like summarize the latest Federal Reserve interest rate decision from Bloomberg and its impact on the stock market. So as you can see, it actually summarized the reports. So as you can see the sources of the reports, and it actually, went searched from the web and has come up with a pretty decent summary. So it has talked about the rationale behind the decision, the impact on the stock market, which is pretty cool. Now, you can ask follow-up questions like, for example, how do rising interest rates affect mortgage rates and real estate investments, etc. Okay, so now let's move on to use ChatGPT to learn Python for financial analysis. So as you know, Python is a must-have skill for finance professionals because it's widely used in financial modeling, risk management, automated trading, and data analysis and validation. So we'll just give a prompt like teach me how to write a Python script to analyze stock market data using pandas. So as you can see, ChatGPT has given a step-by-step explanation. So first it has told that you have to install the required libraries, and it has given what the required libraries are. Then it has suggested you to write the Python script. It has given you the Python script that is to be written. After that, so it's not that it just gives you the code, it actually explains how the code works that it has given you. Like for example, it has given that to fetch stock data, this particular function is used, or this particular library is used, and so on. Now, if you want to perform statistical analysis and visualize trends using graphs, you can, you can prompt further so that ChatGPT curates it according to your requirement. So let's try one more. Can you generate a Python script to build a stock price prediction model using machine learning? Let's see what it does. So as you can see, ChatGPT will provide a step-by-step guidance of what to do on implementing a linear regression model. For example, it started with fetch stock market data, pre-process the data. It also suggested you have to use feature engineering. Then you have to train a machine learning model. You can use linear regression, make predictions on future prices and visualize the results. Again, step 1, they have told you to install the required libraries, which are these libraries. These are the required libraries. Then it has given the Python script for stock price prediction. So now let's see how ChatGPT can help us in choosing the right financial software. So with numerous fintech tools available, choosing the right software for financial modeling, investment tracking, or risk assessment can be overwhelming. So now ChatGPT can compare different tools based on features, cost, and ease of use, recommend solutions based on business needs, and explain how to integrate software into workflows. So let's give a prompt. Compare financial modeling software like Bloomberg Terminal, Morningstar Direct, and FactSet. Which one is best for investment research? You can just give the key results because we don't want it in detail. So as you can see, it has actually given us in a tabular format where you can see the feature and the 3 companies. And finally, it has concluded that for real-time trading and market data, it's Bloomberg Terminal. For the best fund and portfolio management, it's Morningstar Direct. And for financial modeling and custom analysis, it's FactSet. And finally, they have told that for investment research, FactSet is the best option. So, it analyzes everything. It analyzes everything one by one, step by step, and then comes to a conclusion. So, this is how ChatGPT helps us for learning and research. As you can see, we learned many things. We could learn many things. And we could also research about companies. So now in the next chapter, we will deal with how you can use ChatGPT for writing and communication. Hi all, welcome to the next chapter with ChatGPT for writing and communication. So writing plays a crucial role in business and finance, but it can be time consuming. So ChatGPT can assist in automating reports, presentations, emails, and client communication, helping professionals save time and maintain consistency. So in this chapter, we will cover how to automate business and financial reports, how to create effective business presentations, write press releases and emails, and enhance client communication and support. So let's get started. So first is automating business and financial reports. So business professionals frequently create reports such as financial statements, risk assessments, investment analysis, and market research reports. So ChatGPT can generate structured outlines for reports, summaries of financial data with insights, and tables and charts for better visualization. So first, let's import the data. Let's import the Excel file. And let's give the prompt, generate a quarterly sales report for Q1 2023, including a summary of total sales, a breakdown by product category, and the comparison with the previous quarter. So as you can see, I had exported the Excel file, the data from the Excel file, and it has tabulated the data and it's analyzing it. So as you can see, the ChatGPT has given us the summary of the total sales in the first quarter, the total sales in the fourth quarter, and the quarterly growth, like what is the quarterly growth. But I also need the sales by product category. So we can ask, please provide the details of sales by product category. Also, I can say I want a comparison among the quarters. Comparison of sales among the quarters. So as you can see, it actually gave us a visual representation of the comparison of sales with product category. It actually, I didn't mention anything. So it gave Q1 versus Q4. Also, I can ask to create a performance summary, like generate a financial performance summary for investors using this data. So as you can see, ChatGPT will format the findings into an investor-friendly report highlighting the growth, risks, and opportunities. Now, to generate reports with actual company data, users can upload the Excel files and ChatGPT can analyze and summarize them. So now let's see how you can use ChatGPT to create an effective business presentation. So professionals frequently prepare PowerPoint presentations for stakeholders, investors, and team meetings. So ChatGPT can generate slide outlines and key points, provide structured content, and optimize messages for different audiences. So let's just give a prompt, create a PowerPoint outline for an investor presentation summarizing Q1 financial performance. So as you can see, it actually gave a proper outline. It has said that in slide 1, you can keep it a title slide, the company's name and logo, date of presentation, presenter's name, and so on. And in second slide, you can give an executive summary, which is a high-level overview of the performance, the key financial highlights and everything. Then in slide 3, you can talk about the financial highlights, like the financial highlights in numbers, like revenue, net income, etc., profit margins, and so on. And then in the fourth slide, you can, do a revenue breakdown. The fifth slide, you can talk about expense and cost analysis and so on. And finally, you can talk about the key business achievements, about the future scopes and so on. So as you can see, it has, made it so simpler. Like if this was not there, you really have to, think through it and spend a lot of time. But now ChatGPT in a few seconds, it actually gave you a pretty good outline and saved a lot of your time. Now, suppose if you want a content, now this is just an outline. Now, suppose if you want a content, maybe you can just give the resources and everything. You can upload the resources and then ask for an outline, and then you can say convert this outline into PowerPoint content with side bullet points. So the thing is, be as specific as you can while giving the prompts. Okay. So like, as you can see here, I've told to convert the outline into PowerPoint content with side bullet points. So it can be anything. Maybe you need presentations with side bullet points. Maybe you need just, short sentences, long sentences, or there are also people who make, presentations paragraph wise. So be as specific as you can while prompting. So as you can see, it actually generated a PowerPoint presentation in a downloadable format with the content based on the outline. So you can just download the presentation and work on it. Now let's move on to how to create or write press releases and emails. So businesses need clear, engaging press releases for product launches, financial reports, or company updates. So ChatGPT can draft them efficiently. For example, write a press release announcing a company's record breaking quarterly revenue of $10.5 million. You can add more details in the prompt. So as you can see, it has given a proper, press release. First, it has started with the company name. It has given a brief about the achievement. Then it has talked about the key factors contributing to this revenue milestone. And it has also talked about the future goals, like looking ahead what the company has planned or what are the company's initiatives. And then they have just given a brief about their company. And then they have given the media contact. Now, in case if you want to just, rearrange the sections, again, you can, do it by prompting. You can suggest ChatGPT to change the sections or to rearrange the section, and ChatGPT will write accordingly. So now let's move on to email writing with ChatGPT. So ChatGPT can also automate email drafting, making communication faster. So let's see, draft an email to investors summarizing our Q1 financial performance, so, highlighting revenue growth. So here's a tip, always review AI generated emails to ensure personalization and tone effectiveness. Now let's move on to see how ChatGPT enhances client communication and support. So the first one is it can automate FAQs. So ChatGPT can create pre-written responses for frequently asked questions. So let's just give a prompt like generate responses for these common investor FAQs. Expected stock price forecast and upcoming financial reports. So now you can actually, if you want, tailor these answers also. Like for example, if you don't want such big answers, if you want to make it short, if you want to keep it short, you can just suggest ChatGPT to, keep the answers shorter, lengthier, or if you want to change the tone of the answer, if you feel that, you need to be more sweet or something like that, if you want to change the tone, you can give prompts and ChatGPT, and ChatGPT will provide accordingly. Now, ChatGPT also helps in building AI chatbots for support. So ChatGPT can power chatbots, improving real-time responses to client queries. So now ChatGPT also helps in building AI chatbots for support. So ChatGPT can power chatbots, improving real-time responses to client queries. So for example, let's ask, provide a chatbot script for handling investor inquiries about stock performances and financial reports. So as you can see, ChatGPT provided a professional chatbot script for handling investor inquiries about stock performance and financial reports. So first it started with a greeting and initial prompt like, hello, welcome to our company. How can I assist you today? And it gave options. So once they choose an option, for example, if they choose stock performance updates, now for stock performance updates, the chatbot will say our company does not provide real-time stock price, etc. And again, it will ask a follow-up question like, would you like the latest investor representation of financial report? So again, you can choose from this, yes, send me or no. And if yes, chatbot provides a link to the investor. So suppose if they went with the second option, this is what the chatbot conversation will look like. So this is how ChatGPT will help you in writing and communication. That's what we saw in this chapter. Now in the next chapter, we'll be dealing with the limitations of ChatGPT for finance and some of the data and AI issues in ChatGPT. Okay, so now let's move on to our last chapter, which is limitations of ChatGPT for finance. So ChatGPT is an incredibly powerful AI tool that assists with various tasks, but it also has several limitations. So understanding these drawbacks is essential to using it effectively and avoiding potential pitfalls. Number one is its character limit. So ChatGPT has a response limit depending on the implementation. So this means longer responses might get cut off, requiring additional prompts to retrieve full information. Next is content quality concerns. So while ChatGPT can generate content, it shouldn't be the sole tool for content creation. AI-generated content may lack originality compared to human-written material. Moreover, Google has flagged AI-generated content as spam, which means relying solely on ChatGPT. Next is data limitations. So ChatGPT's knowledge is based on the data it was trained on, and this leads to multiple issues. First is outdated information. So the free version of ChatGPT only has data up to 2021, making it unreliable for real-time events, market trends, or current affairs. Unverified sources. The AI can sometimes provide outdated, incorrect, or biased information as its responses are based on patterns rather than verified facts. Struggles with unstructured data. So if given poorly formatted or ambiguous inputs, ChatGPT may misinterpret the query, leading to inaccurate or irrelevant responses. Next is regulatory and financial limitations. So financial regulations vary by country, and ChatGPT lacks the ability to provide precise legal or financial guidelines tailored to different jurisdictions. Also, AI models inherit biases from their training data. So if trained on biased information, ChatGPT can produce skewed outputs, potentially reinforcing stereotypes or ethical concerns. Then comes limited contextual understanding. So AI lacks human-like emotional intelligence and struggles with nuanced language, sarcasm, or cultural context. So this limitation makes it less effective for complex conversations where understanding subtle intent is crucial. And then capacity overload. So with millions of users accessing ChatGPT, the system frequently experiences capacity issues leading to slow responses, errors, or temporary service unavailability. So while ChatGPT is an excellent tool, it could be used with caution, verified against reliable sources, and supplemented with human judgment to ensure quality and accuracy. So now let's see some of the data and AI issues in ChatGPT. So while ChatGPT is a powerful AI model, it has several data and AI related challenges that impact the quality and reliability of its responses. So understanding these issues helps users make informed decisions while using the tool. So first is dependence on outdated data. So ChatGPT is trained on a fixed data set, meaning it lacks real-time information sometimes. So as I already mentioned earlier, the free version is limited to data up to 2021, making it unreliable for answering questions about current events, financial markets, or emerging technologies. So for example, if you ask about the latest AI advancements in 2024 free version, it may provide outdated or inaccurate information. Next is reliability of information. So since ChatGPT generates responses based on vast amounts of publicly available data, there is no built-in mechanism to verify the accuracy of its outputs. So this can lead to misinformation. AI may produce incorrect facts, statistics, or even make up references that doesn't exist. Bias in responses. So if the training data contains biased viewpoints, the model can unknowingly reinforce those biases in its responses. And inconsistent answers. So the same question might yield different responses depending on how it's phrased, making it difficult to ensure accuracy. Then comes challenges with unstructured data. So ChatGPT performs best when given clear and structured prompts. It struggles with poorly formatted or ambiguous inputs, leading to irrelevant or misleading answers. Also, complex data interpretation, such as analyzing spreadsheets, graphs, or highly technical documents. Then comes ethical and bias issues. So AI models like ChatGPT inherit biases from the training data, as already mentioned. So if trained or skewed or one-sided sources, the AI may produce biased responses that reflect those perspectives. So this can be particularly problematic in areas like credit scoring and hiring. AI models used in financial or HR applications may unintentionally favor certain demographics due to biased training data. Also, news and politics, if the training data set is dominated by specific viewpoints, the AI may unintentionally propagate biased opinions. And then you have security and privacy concerns. So although dual user conversations, there are risks associated with AI-generated content. So sensitive information exposure, where users should avoid sharing personal or content do not guarantee privacy. And use in misinformation campaigns. So AI-generated content can be manipulated to create convincing fake news, scams, or deceptive narratives. So there you have it. ChatGPT isn't just a tool, it's transforming the way finance operates, from automating reports to enhancing financial insights. It streamlines workflows while maintaining accuracy and efficiency. But here's the key, AI in finance isn't a set it and forget it solution. Continuous refinement, regulatory updates, and data accuracy are essential for maximizing its potential. So as financial markets evolve, so should your AI. Regular updates, compliance checks, and human oversight ensure ChatGPT remains a reliable asset. So while AI boosts speed and precision, human expertise is irreplaceable in making critical financial decisions. So embrace ChatGPT, fine-tune it to fit your financial needs, and use it as a partner in driving smarter, faster, and more informed decisions. So that was it for today. Hope you found this course helpful.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.